Mardiyyah Oduwole.
My name is Mardiyyah Oduwole, and today we are going to be talking about procrastination as a success instrument, a double-edged sword for and against career growth. Yes, procrastination can make and break your career depending on the power you give to it. How does this work? Okay, so if you're a procrastinator, you'll be very familiar with this life cycle. I'll do it later, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it some other time. The I'll do it never ends. You are just not going to do it now. That's the point. The cost of procrastination is the life you could have lived. Yes, procrastination robs us of life-changing opportunities. We get to postpone that application, the assignment, and stuff that can actually take our name to places, give us opportunities we've been yearning for. When they finally come, we procrastinate the application process, and then we begin to feel like, I could have done this, I could have done that. How procrastination happens. So this is like the 6 steps of procrastination. False security is the first one, where we start with, I still have a lot of time. I have like 2 weeks. 2 weeks is not coming, it's not ending soon. I'll do it some other time. Then we go to laziness. I need motivation. I'm just not in the right state of mind to do that task now. I'll do it some other time, and all those things that we tell ourselves. Then excuses. If I don't give my cat love, the cat will die. So you rather give your cat love rather than doing your tasks. Then denial. There are sometimes that you know the truth, you just deny it because you want to deny it, because you do not want to put in the work and all of that. Then crisis. That's the point where you tell God, I'm not going to procrastinate again, give me other opportunities and all of that. But then you're still going to rinse and repeat. You know, now you're too big. So types of procrastination. We have active procrastination. Active procrastination is where you purposely procrastinate an important task to do other important tasks. For example, now you might have a deadline for maybe weekend, and you have another one for upper week. So you try to do the one for weekend first. That way you're procrastinating the one for upper week, but you're doing productive work. It's not like you're wasting your time doing something else and all of that. So active procrastination involves deliberately postponing decisions or actions in order to use the pressure of a near deadline as motivation to get things done. So active procrastination can be done effectively using the implementation intention. I got this from Atomic Habits, written by James Clear, so I strongly recommend the book. So these are examples of implementation intention. So I, behavior, period, and other tasks. Example, I'll send out the email after I'm done working on this presentation slides. So that means when you're done working on the presentation slides, you do not need to think of what to do. You already know that you have to send out the email. Then the next one, I will behavior at time in location. I will work on my open source project at 4 p.m. in the library. So you know that by 4 p.m. you have to be in the library. And when you're in the library by 4 p.m., you do not need to think of what to do. You have to work on your open source project. So active procrastination is best for people who love to work under pressure. Active procrastinators are able to complete their tasks at the last minute. Even with the fact that it's last minute, they still put in their A game and get the work done right. Then active procrastination is done by procrastinators who know their onions. So you can't be somebody that you're still dealing with traditional procrastination and leaving things till deadline, thinking you will get it done perfectly. Then now we have passive procrastination. Passive procrastination involves postponing tasks due to inability to make decisions or to do things in a timely manner. And it's mostly caused by fear and laziness. So basically, either you're scared of the task, you really do not know if you can put in your A game, you do not know if you are worth it or if you can do it, or basically because you're looking for a head start, you believe you're not motivated, or maybe because you feel like you can do it later. Then deadlines do not motivate passive procrastinators. It makes them panic. They are always scared. Oh, I have 2 days to go. What do I do in that 2 days? And they don't do anything. Then passive procrastinators lack organization. They are easily distracted and always busy. You know, recently people started talking about the difference between being busy and being productive. So passive procrastinators are always busy, not always productive. So dealing with passive procrastination, there's actually no manual to deal with it. You just have to know what you want, and you have to be intentional about who you want to be, so that you will not be among the set of people that will be saying, the life I could have lived. Then these are like some steps I outlined. Number 1, set goals. you set your goals. It could be yearly goals, it could be monthly goals, it could be weekly goals, it could be daily goals. Just set goals, know where you are going to. Then break large tasks into small actionable ones. It is easy to say, I want to create an open source project, and you keep on postponing. But if you break it down and start with create a GitHub repo, all of that, so by the time you are doing it one by one, you get to tick and you see that you are making progress. But if you just say create an open source project, as long as you've not created the open source project, you still feel like you've not done enough, and you might eventually procrastinate till you abandon it. Then focus on one task at a time. Most of us are deceived to believe that multitasking actually works. It works for some people, but most of the time you spend working on 2 projects interchangeably, is more than the time you spend working on them individually. So find the perfect productivity system / technique for you. We have flow time, Pomodoro, and some other ones that helps you focus. In case you're the kind of person that gets easily distracted, you can look at one of them and pick the one that works for you. Then let what is at stake remain at the back of your mind. The condition of this country is enough to motivate you, so you can put that at the back of your mind so that you keep moving. Then productivity apps you might want to explore. Forest is like a timer kind of app. What it does basically is it times you, and the beauty of Forest is that if you tell you want to work for 30 minutes at a go, once your 30 minutes have passed, it won't ring. So that way, if you're engrossed in what you're doing, you won't get distracted, and until you're done, you would not know. Then AnyDo is like a to-do list app. So, but you can integrate it with your Google Calendar. It has like a widget feature that can be on your home screen, and it can, Forest block apps, like distracting apps, but AnyDo does not. Then app block is like to block apps. You can block for as long as 4 hours using the free version. Then Notion is for organization, to keep yourself organized, to keep your things together. Then books you might want to check out. The first one is supposed to be Atomic Habits by James Clear that I mentioned. So the ones here are 60 Seconds Self-Starter by Jeff Davidson, Do It Now by Tracy Weaver, Is That Frog by Brian Tracy, and Habits of Highly Effective People. These are books that, if you do not read books, you can try to get the audio version, like we have audio books now, so that you can learn the same lesson people who read actually get. Thank you very much for listening. My name is Mardiyyah Oduwole.